After failing multiple times, I learned the hard way that starting and succeeding with a business is far more difficult than just having a good product. Let's start with the first part of the plan called the purpose. Whether your purpose is to grow your YouTube channel, your marketing agency, or your restaurant. My current journey started with my passion project called the Collectum app. Collectum allows you to create digital collections of your stuff. And trust me, there is no cooler app for that. So my purpose was clear: building a social media network where people could express themselves through their loved belongings. And by starting a YouTube channel, I made sure that people actually knew who I was, to build a basic level of trust towards me and my app. And now it gets more strategic because we moved from the purpose to the next step called the awareness. And as a business engineer, I understood early on that no matter how cool your product, your idea, or your service is, you need to have a community. And that community cannot be your friends or your family. You need random people to support the cause. I had to learn this the hard way. Listen, I've failed a lot in my life. Failing is not the problem, but time-consuming failure is. In 2017, I started my first business idea called Bazaarea. It was meant to serve as a marketplace for tourists by tourists. Instead of developing a prototype to test the idea, I spent 9 months actually to work on the business model, to design a logo, to get a fancy slogan. I also developed investor-ready pitch decks with all the functionalities I could imagine in that marketplace. In the meantime, a random startup entered the market with their MVP. It had the same concept as mine, but looked much worse. Nevertheless, they managed to get the first users on their platform. In a very short period of time, they iterated through their user feedback and implemented extras that truly mattered. And just a few months in, they secured funding from investors. And I learned from that, so take the Collectum app as an example. It's a basic social media app with a unique feature: to create collections. It's just a small twist. Of course, I can envision adding other functionalities such as a value tracker, usage tracker, marketplace functionalities, or even fake check algorithms. But those are costly and time consuming. And now, to keep the failure rate as small as possible, I thought it might be a good idea to promote not the product, but myself on social media. And to be honest, I underestimated this point very much. Just a few months in, I realized that this was not the easiest path to walk. So honesty, relatability, and value for the community are my main focus in the social media game. It takes time to reach a certain quality level that you and your community are satisfied with. So if you want to truly grow your business, sooner or later you need to take some boosters, which are advertisings. Now you might say, but you're already advertising on social media through your personal brand, right? And my answer to that is that this exactly blocks your success. Social media is a channel where you express your thoughts, your learnings, your failures. You share your feelings and your life situation with the community. And that's the only way to truly engage with others. I think most of the people couldn't care less about the app I developed. Only I care because I invested the time. Others don't know the work, the hustle, the financial struggles you're going through. But by sharing it with them, they get invested in your life, not yet in your product. And that's why you need that booster, the ads. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all of them are businesses. Their goal is to maximize their profit. They do this through content creators on their platform who entertain the community, and through business who actually pay for the ads to promote their own business. Here's something for you to compare. Before I started advertising, I only had 1 to 2 users of my app. One of them was myself. And that even though I was sharing knowledge on YouTube for the past 1.5 years. Simply putting links in the description box or mentioning your app here and there in some videos is not enough. But I waited. But the reason I've waited with advertising was one viral moment I needed on my YouTube channel. And 3 weeks ago, my viral moment was finally there. For the past 5 days, I'm finally now advertising on Google Ads, Apple Ads, or Reddit Ads. And now I managed to achieve a daily active user count of 20 people. Maybe this doesn't sound like much to you, but a week ago this was unimaginable. So my current plan is to focus more on advertising on the one side, whilst pushing my content on the other side for my personal brand. And if I can get around 100 daily active users, it will be time to pitch the idea to some investors. We are not there yet, and there's still a long way to go. Hand in hand with the advertisement strategy goes the optimization of the app strategy. By getting the users on the app through our advertisement, we also get their feedback. Then we exactly know what to optimize in the app and which functions we need to integrate that truly matter for our customers. Right now I have a lot of visitors that download the app, around 200 people, but actually only around 20 people use the app on a daily active basis. That's also called the stickiness ratio. If you want to know the key performance indicators to watch when starting a business, drop a comment down below. I will cover it in one of my upcoming videos. So what do I learn from the fact that people download the app but don't use it? Well, it's either a problem with the interface or with the performance of the app. So now we have a technical task to analyze it deeper. In the beginning, I tried to go with a simple, straightforward UI. It was really fast and cheap to develop, but it seems that this is not enough, even not for an MVP. And this is exactly how you should iterate your product with your team. And when I say team, I really work with some capable people abroad, because it's impossible that you build everything around it yourself. And that's the next part of my plan, the team. If you're a techie, you need a business person to cover the other side. This applies to all other businesses. Let's take content creation as an example. Once you reach a certain level, it's impossible that you do everything on your own. You need professional editors, copywriters, and social media managers. So the more your business grows, the more your team and your processes must grow. For cost-saving options, I recommend freelancing platforms such as Fiverr or Upwork. You can also look for co-founders on platforms like Wellfound or the Y Combinator matching platform. I don't have a co-founder yet, as I was able to get to this stage all by myself. But I can definitely tell you, there was no hack, no shortcut, nothing. I had to put massive amounts of work in this, plus I'm funding all of this with my 9-to-5 job. Because I really do believe that sooner or later I will find the right business to succeed with. And when you get to a certain level, you don't need only a team, you also need investment angels. And they will ask for data. Interestingly, many people think that investors are just waiting around the corner to throw money at you. Sorry to say that, but that's not the case. They will ask questions like, how many users or clients do you have? What's your business model? What's your unique selling proposition? How do you plan to make money? And who are your competitors? There are also many other factors and questions to consider. And I even haven't talked about the documents and the structure they need. Everything must be updated continuously, and you have to report on a strict basis. So another mistake many people do is they think when they secure the funding once that they've made it. You're greatly mistaken, because the real work starts after that. And from my point of view, it wouldn't be right to give you some advice on that right now, because I'm not there as well. But I'll get closer, and when I'm there, I'll come back and share my experience here again. So best practices, ideas, steps you need to follow that worked for me. So did this video help you to understand the different parts of my strategy? Drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye.